Nobody wants to come home to a trashy kitchen if you've been away. For a while, it's nice to come home to a clean place. First of all, I don't think that people talk about what it's like to be an empty nester and what it's like to have children and feel like that's your number only job. I don't know if you're married, but sometimes there are times when one is together with their partner, and then there are times when you're both just in your own thing, but you're there together. I think that women as a group are so powerful. I still don't think we can embrace our power well enough yet. We think we live in a man's world and have to follow their rules, and yet we're so different, and our rules are so different. I wish that we could come together more as a political force. If women ran the world, I don't believe that there would be war. We understand the bigger picture. We understand our impact on the environment and the world. We understand the generations that will go after us because it gave birth to them. I think it's important to do smaller films, because I think that's where a lot of new things are happening. Kevin gave me a ukulele, and that was something new and cool. I wouldn't call myself inherently musical, but it is super fun. And I can't pick up my ukulele without him picking up his guitar and wanting to jam. Sometimes I'm like, let me stumble through this on my own. But he's a natural teacher. I also think that when you fall in love with the characters, you want them to be sincere and earn it and be authentic. I think in this movie, every time I see his work, I'm blown away by it because he, to me, really embodied the character so powerfully and so real. So truthfully too. I think you just make your priorities, and sometimes they put restrictions on you that hurt a little bit, and that's okay. And we learned as we went what works and what doesn't. I think that certainly, my choices empower me. The great thing about sitcoms is that you can present a problem, and then at the end of the episode, things are wrapped up. That's what a sitcom is. And wouldn't it be great if life were like that? Also, everyone's hearts are in the right place when you do a small movie. You're not doing it for the money. You're not doing it for the possibility of an Oscar nomination. You are doing it because you love the material. Hollywood movies are run on fear, and they don't want to make bold choices. They, generally speaking, want to keep things status quo. That's not interesting to me. I've always been able to let stuff go when I'm done with work. I feel my job as an actor is to explore all sides of humanity. I was always fraught with guilt, and it's such a waste of emotion. It keeps you out of the moment of being where you are. When I connect to my soul, project it into another character, and then bring it to a stage or to a film that has always been for me great joy of acting. It's been as if my soul kind of leaps out of my body and can be free and dance around. I know that I have to work hard for every single thing that I get, and that's okay. You can never forget what genre you're in. You always have to remember that you're in a comedy. So, for me, it never falls into sappy. It's always that very fine line, but it is a fine line. While it is challenging working with a kid, because they're so in the moment all the time, my acting style is to try to take something from my life that the character can relate to and that I can relate to the character to. So, when I did fall in love with Kevin, it just felt like there was some urgency to get married, and I don't know what it was. Suddenly this thing came over me and I was terrified. Global climate change is real and we have a limited time to change our behavior or live with the consequences. We can all help by making small changes in our livesto, letting our voice be heard by our governing bodies. As has always been the case in this country, if the people demand change, it will come.